Hello, beautiful Taurus, and welcome to January 2021. And I will tell you right now, as I'm working with fixed sign energy, which is Taurus and Leo and Scorpio and Aquarius. Fixed signs are we have a lot of powerful energy in Taurus. You are one of the stars of this show for January. Mars moves into your sign on January 6th, and Uranus, who is your kind of big electrifier for these next many years, is going direct on the 14th after several months of retrograde. So right away, Mars and Uranus are going to be definitely highlighting, how you've changed, how you've grown, and forward motion is going to be really strong. That urge to move forward really powerfully is going to be with you. This is also really interesting because we tapped into this a little bit in December, but let's really talk about this today. Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, fellow fixed sign. This energy represents like who you are in the world, right? Like the work you do in the world and how you present yourself in the world, like as an individual who does something, others perceive you a certain way. And you don't want to get too caught up in 10th house energy. However, there are big building expansion energies in this specific part of the conversation right now. And it's so interesting for me because for the last few years, you've been having it in a fellow earth sign of Capricorn, where you've been dreaming up things and philosophically rearranging the pieces, which is really important, right? Because we have to get our heads in a space where we're seeing the world in a way that will support us in order to take bigger risks and things like that. Now in the 10th house, now in Aquarius, another fixed sign, this is all about getting in there and creating things. So it's a really different energetic hum. And the thing with Aquarian energy, regardless of how you connect with it or what your personal placements are, how you connect with Aquarian, it's very electric. It's a little bit wild. We haven't been working with air energy for a while. And I think for earth signs and water signs, it can be a little shocking at times, It's like a little bit... it's just a little bit crackly. And even I have found, I have a lot of fire in my chart, but I don't have a lot of air. So I don't work with air energy as much, even though I love it. Things have, like my relationship to technology, like there's been like a lot of crackling and things breaking, and I've been noticing, and this is just something to keep in mind as we get adjusted to this energy. When you feel some of that electrical nervous energy, just kind of try and take a breath and come back to a center and slow down a little bit, because it is very fast energy. So that's something just to keep in mind. And that's one of my big notes, is that January for Taurus, you guys, you have a lot of electrical energy saying, go for it, move forward, like give birth to this existence, just go for it. And a lot of support. But there's also something to be said for a lot of reflection. There are other energies going on, especially as we move into Aquarius season at the end of the month, where there's a full moon in Leo on the 28th. And that's going to be speaking to like your home and your hearth and where you feel safe internally. Really great place to check in with yourself there. Mercury in Aquarius is also going retrograde this month and beginning that journey, which means it's time to kind of review and collect. And I do think, even with you guys, and honestly, the energy is so, as far as intense new beginnings to the year, which it is, Ace of Cups popped right out. This is a really great month for you. You even have Venus and a new moon happening in your fellow earth sign of Capricorn, your 9th house. Very supportive energy for you. King of Cups, hello. Wow. It is important to make sure that you're incorporating. I think too, Mars in Taurus, we're going to be working with that energy all month. After 6 months of it in Aries, Mars and Taurus is such an interesting combo. For me, Mars is challenged by Taurus energy, right? Because Mars just wants to blast through things. Just like explode it and move forward. When Mars is in Taurus, it does give you guys this boost of like activated energy. Like, let's go, let's take action. But I think it also asks that we reevaluate our relationship to action and to decisive action and to calm it down a little bit. And it will also challenge you, right, to see where you're doing forced action, how action in the world is feeling for you, and Knight of Swords wanted to come out. Yeah. Okay, so I'm pulling 3 cards from my classic deck, and then I'm going to pull 1 from my Cosmic Tarot as our overarching message. But yeah, it's really fun to play with Taurus energy right now. Okay, I know it can be a little intimidating and overwhelming. Like, looking at these energies, it's like, oh my gosh, like do you take this all on? You know, Jupiter and Saturn pushing you forward, Mars showing up, Uranus going direct, a new year beginning, a new energetic cycle of 20 years beginning. How do you work with that? Where do you even begin? You know, and it can be very easy to get overwhelmed. But the one thing I want to keep it, and this is just an intuitive message for everyone. 8 of Pentacles, perfect, love it. And actually that speaks to this. 8 of Pentacles is about taking our time and building into something over time. And it's the skills we gain after 10,000 hours of doing something, not the skills we gain by erratically running around, right? But one thing to keep in mind with January in general, and especially for you Taurus, because it is so electrically charged for you. This year expands more and more as we move through it. But January, it's going to feel like you already need to be kicked into high gear because energetically it's changed and it's shifted and we're working more in that modality. However, it's going to take month after month for us to fully flower into this energetic transit time and to fully feel like the jiving with it. So it's important to start slow. It's important to start with assessing where we are and thinking about what we want to build over time. Right? What we want to, like, you may have some visions for what you want to build in 2021, and that's awesome. And you're just going to want to remember it's going to take the time to build it. And that, so therefore, January is not like just, like I said, you know, I've been feeling like kind of this electrical charge now, and it's very easy to get like huffy and like stressed and start feeling like you need to do everything really fast. And then that's when you drop the vase and it shatters on the floor and you just feel like crying. So we want to bring that type of energy down a little bit and just like try and come back to some slow medicine. And I know, Taurus, you're going to ride that ride with me. It's just a little reminder. So let's talk through these beautiful cards though. So we'll start with Ace of Cups, my friends. Okay. This is amazing. It makes sense to me and I keep getting full body shivers. So that's great. I love to see this for my Taurus loves. It just keeps happening. Like I'm having so many shivers right now. Okay. New energetic chapters are for sure here for you. Venus is in a great place for you this month, as well as this new 20-year cycle with Saturn and Jupiter. It's restarting and opening new doors for all the fixed signs, and it's asking us all to investigate and explore life in new ways. It challenges us to connect with like our home environments, our relationships, and our identity as people who work in the world, as well as our identities within our just whole self. So with all of that energy moving through, I'm just not surprised. But the thing that's beautiful is that there's this warmth to it, right? I remember for a while there, Taurus, there were just these tower moments and these electrical moments of like things have to be ripped out. And I mean, everybody, and that was a little while ago. It was definitely like 2019. There was a lot of those moments for Taurus, and 2022 as well. But there's something different happening here. You know, we've taken out the old stitches and what is here now? And well, we've got some characters, don't we? So King of Cups, beautiful energy for Taurus. You have some really loving, connective people around you. It's funny because it was actually making me think of some of my specific friends, and it's just funny when things like this come out. But, you know, I'm not just talking about people I know, right? Like King of Cups energy, it may be something that you're activating within you, right? This is being emotionally connected to ourselves, being sovereign enough to, and confident enough and safe within ourselves enough to be okay with all the emotions we have, right? When we feel fully safe with ourselves, we can allow emotions to rise up and leave and move through us without being afraid that they will take us with them forever. So King of Cups is very much about that kind of emotional sovereignty and comfort, you know, being able to ride the seas of emotion without feeling you're going to be capsized. So that's beautiful. But this can also really reflect people and partnerships and connections, you know, especially with that Ace of Cups. And the type of person that's showing up here for that is somebody who is emotionally intelligent, emotionally connected, aware of others and their needs as well as their own, is fully embodied in their ability to navigate life in its complexity. So that is just awesome energy. What can I say? That's all you need to say about that. I love King of Cups energy. It's highly powerful. And it is not about looking just good on the surface, right? It's not just about your external performance. It's about feeling that at a very core magnetic level. So really powerful. You also have Knight of Swords here. Now this guy likes to shake things up. This is very Aquarian energy, right? So this in one way can act as like that opportunity, that window opening, that door opening where you just feel like suddenly you are in high gear, you're moving fast. This is very, very fast movement. It's electrical, it's fast, it's opinionated. It tends to get to the truth very quickly, bring truth with it without very much finesse, right? That's the thing with Knight of Swords. This guy does not think of a way to say it subtly or diplomatically. It's just about getting it out there. So one thing I'm seeing here is like there's very swift clarity this month. Like while there's all this harmony and beautiful like Ace of Cups, King of Cups energy, there's also something going on here that says like if there's some BS that like you're holding yourself back on or somebody else in your life is, it's going to get cleared up right away. It's going to get clarified really fast. It can also be if you're having just a question or something that's kind of lingering in your thoughts, that Knight of Swords can really come in and just get it sorted. And that to me reminds me of that Mars and Uranus energy that's working in your sign. That's just like, let's go. And so you may be finding that's a little intense sometimes. And that kind of Knight of Swords energy is what I'm talking about, where it's just sometimes you may need to just take a deep breath. It can be really useful energy. And I think in some ways, a lot of us are craving Knight of Swords energy. We're craving clarity and movement and bluntness and just getting to know the answers, right? Like, because that has not been the theme of 2020, has it? Like, we have not been working in the modality of that in the last year by a mile. And so to have Knight of Swords there, there's kind of like oh, thank goodness, finally it can get some answers. But it can also, you can't stay in that modality all the time, so you have to come back home a little bit. So keep that in mind. Now, Eight of Pentacles is your overarching message from my Cosmic Tarot card pull. And oh gosh, first of all, I just love this card. It actually makes me think of Taurus, like the lushness of a garden and reflecting on the beauty of nature as it unfurls and takes its time cell by cell and creating something. And it's the rose garden, right? Yeah, she's got like a rose garden, which is so beautiful. And it's giving me full body shivers again. This modality, surprisingly enough, is really important. I think what's so interesting is that the transits going through the fixed signs, they're very electrical and powerful. However, fixed sign energy innately is about the long haul process. It's not about just the initiation. It's not about the goodbye and the mutation into something else. It's about what happens when we commit into something and we watch it grow over time, knowing it's going to take time, and the joy that can actually come when we get into that, right? And so it's a really interesting conversation, and we're going to keep having these conversations all year because these transits are here to stay. Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus are going to stay where they're at in these signs. But there's something about that energy, and one thing, and that's why January in and of itself is important, in that we're getting used to the year. We're getting used to the new energy. It's also not the month that is going to be about conclusions. It's about initiations, and it's about not just initiations, but understanding that we're building slow, beautiful things, right? Even with all the electricity that's going to be telling you, ooh, fast, fast, fast. We're building beautiful, slow things. And that is the reminder here. So, because you have all this action going on, right? And it is exciting. It is like, this is such exciting, warm energy. It's the kind of energy we just get. It's like exciting to get up in the morning because you know that you're going to like talk to that person or do that project. And there's so much to do and think about. It's like, this is going to build. It's going to build. Okay. Wow. It's so much fun to talk to you guys right now because your transits are so fun and intense. And a lot of other people have a much more mixed bag of navigation going on this month. And for you, it's much more like, oh no, we're here, we're doing this. Okay. I have a New Year blessing for you to take with you for the beginning of this powerful new year that we are just getting used to. And here it is. May the creativity pour from your heart and flow over the landscape of your life. May you allow yourself the time to breathe and rest and ensure that any changes you make are from a place of joy. May you be surrounded by support, love, and connection. May your presence in the world make it a more beautiful and vibrant place. And I do wish all of those things for you, beautiful Taurus family. Of course, I'm wearing my favorite Taurus's jewelry, PinkLune. You can find her Etsy shop, and I will leave her link below. I will be doing a whole bunch of activations and conversations in January just to ease us into this time over on my Patreon. And it's such a cozy place. And I mean, I'm always there. Every week I'm there having little discussions and worksheets and all sorts of things. So if you'd love to join me there, I would love to see you there. Those of you who are already with me know what a great little community it is. You can also find me on my website and my Instagram. I would love to see you in all of those places as well as here. So like and subscribe and hang out with me. It means the world to me to sit down every month and do these conversations with you and have these conversations with you. And I hope you're taking such good care. Have a beautiful beginning to 2021, and I will talk to you soon.